Okay, so this is a little behind the scenes of how we got started in the golf class the other day. So these are kind of the little bit older girls, and little Kennedy here, who's I think probably 6 or 7. She's in first grade. These three girls were kind of talking amongst themselves over here, and little Kennedy wasn't really being included. So I wanted to try to get the girls, teach the girls how to kind of be open-minded to trying to include somebody who kind of be aware of people that probably feel a little bit intimidated by the older girls. So we did a little a drill here where I told the older girls that each of them had to ask Kennedy a question about her schooling, about anything going on with Kennedy, just so they could learn how to ask questions and be inclusive and think about other people. So here's how we got started with the golf class the other day. You have to ask her something about, does she like her teachers? Okay, so let's start with Ashlyn. You ask Kennedy a question.
How old is your teacher?
I don't know. I just
Oh, that's something I want to know. I always want to know.
I
always want to know.
My teacher's like 20 years old.
Oh, my teacher last year.
No, hold on. It's about Kennedy. Focus on Kennedy. So that's okay. So ask her. So that's a good question. That's a good question.
I
But
like to know teacher's age without asking.
okay, hold on. So let's try. Let's find out. Kennedy, do you think your teacher, does she seem old to you or does she seem young?
She seems young.
Oh, okay. So that's
She was a grandma.
okay. So Ashlyn, good. So we kind of got to your question. Good.
No, but it's like it's very confusing. I want to ask a different question.
Okay. What? Okay.
What's the style of like her room and stuff?
Good.
Like her classroom. What's the style of it?
She has like posters on the wall.
Yeah. And what
What's the theme of the poster? Is it like what colors is her classroom?
Yeah.
I think the wallpaper, I forgot.
Okay. All right. But good question. Okay, Shirley, what from what you remember from first grade, what was something that if somebody could have asked you, or you could ask somebody, what would you ask them about first grade? Like, how big is your class? How small is your class? Is your classroom, do you have air conditioning? What would be a good question?
Like, what do you think the challenges are going to be? Like, what do you think you're going to learn that's going to be challenging?
Adding and subtracting bigger numbers.
Good question. All right. Miss Rowan, what would be a good question for Miss Kennedy?
Well,
Do you have a crush on any boys?
I know someone who does have a crush on me though.
Oh, wait, what? Who?
Wait,
You already know
Peter?
this.
Peter has a crush on you? Oh, do you like Peter?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
do not.
You do not. Okay, but that's nice that somebody has a crush on you. Okay, Mr. Logan, what would you ask Kennedy about maybe her class or her classmates? What do you think?
What kind of teaching style does your teacher have?
Like hairstyle?
No, like teaching style. Is she strict or is she nice?
Good question.
Yes, but she's picky,
Yep.
like for our coloring.
Oh, she's picky about coloring?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so now we have a putting contest, and now, oddly enough, Sherry Lee had made like 3, and Kennedy is actually in the lead right now with about she made 4 in a row. This whole drill is set up actually just mostly for Kennedy. Kennedy had a tough time with her alignment of her feet and her putter, so I want to start this drill with these alignment sticks on each side to really get Kennedy kind of comfortable with and accustomed to aligning her feet correctly. Although she really took to it, and now she's in the lead. So here is our next putt, and let's see how this goes. 2, 1.
He did it again.
Oh, what did you do, Kennedy?
I went easy.
You went easy on him?
Yeah, I putted it.
So now Kennedy, I asked Kennedy, because she said she was going easy on them and taking it easy. So now all of a sudden she throws this out there, and now we get a reaction from the other golfers. Oh, okay. Uh-oh.
Okay, so what are you going to be doing this time? Are you going to be going easy or going hard?
Yeah, I'm gonna go hard.
So kind of the one good thing is now they're all interacting. The older kids are interacting with Kennedy here. So let's see what happens. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Get ready, Kennedy, get ready. That's it. Come on, Kennedy, get set up. Here we go. Okay, get ready to make it. Remember, close the putter face and pull your hands through. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, putt. Ooh. It's actually a really good putt. She had actually now she's putting really a lot better. Okay, so now we're taking a look at, now comes some technical stuff. So here's what we're trying to get with Kennedy. We got her feet. No, for her, she only needs about 8 inches in between the insides of her 2 ankles. Now, the thing with Kennedy is we want to get her right hand more on top and her left hand more underneath. So as we take a look here, if we zoom in here on this golfer, see how much of the back of this right hand we can see? I'm going to get out of the way here and see how much of this back of this right hand we can see on. Okay, here we go. See how much of the back of the right hand we can see? So her right hand is more on top, her left hand is more underneath. That's going to help her close this club face. So now we're going to let the club face rotate open in the backswing. So we're trying to get this club face to point up to the sky back here. Now, one of the things is when she takes the club back, we want to keep this right arm straight, but that's okay. But she takes it back. The good thing is she's letting this club face rotate open kind of to point up to the sky, because on the way through, she wants to close this club face so the club face is pointed to the ground on the way through. So she's doing well here. Watch this. So now we want to, as she comes through, in order to hit ball then ground, so we want the hands to lead the club head. This may be getting a little technical, but we want this right wrist to curl on the way through and this left wrist to bend back. We're really focusing on this right wrist curling. So watch Kennedy here, and we're on the right track. So she lets the club face open, and then she's going to swing through and close this club face. So you can see as she approaches impact, now she's starting to get, let's blow this up, see this right wrist curl, left wrist bend back, left wrist bend back. This is what's called forward shaft lean. And now Kennedy is starting to get forward shaft lean here because she's learning to close the club face correctly. And you can see now we have the knuckles of the right hand underneath. And that's what happens with Kennedy as she comes through. Now we're starting to get her to close this club face. There's the club face now pointed to the ground. And you can see the knuckles of her right hand underneath. Now we're going to see, now it doesn't matter who we take. It's all going to be the same. The same technique and the same things that we're shooting for. We're trying to get her to build correct technique. So here's the next swing. So we got her set up again. We got this. This is perfect grip. What we want is both of her thumbs down the left side of the club. So as she's looking, if you're looking down, you want it to be on the left side of the club. Both thumbs down the left side of the club. But we're going to let this club face rotate open in the backswing. And here she goes. She's going to let the club face open up. Now she kind of replants her foot here. She gets away. I have her feet set up, but she kind of replants. But that's okay. We'll keep an eye on that. She's going to let this is perfect. She's letting this club face rotate open to face the sky. And then on the way through, she's going to curl her right wrist like Tiger Woods here. So here she comes through. And now she's going to roll her forearms. Here we go. Got a curl in the right wrist. Curl in the right wrist. Bend back in the left wrist. Bend back in the left wrist, and now we're closing this club face to get this club face point to the ground. And you can see when Tiger Woods comes through, that right hand is underneath. And let's take a look at Kennedy here. Great, she hits the golf ball right there. She's making contact. She keeps curling her right wrist. This looks great. That right wrist continues to curl. That closes the club face, and you can see now as she swings through, that right hand gets underneath. Huge improvement. It doesn't matter who we're taking. We can take a look, Tiger Woods. We can take a look at, here's a guy by the name of Colin Morikawa. And let's take a look as Kennedy comes through, letting the club face point up to the sky. And we want it pointed to the ground on the way through. So you can see as she comes through, she's starting to curl this right wrist. Let's take a look at this pro golfer here. Looks as he comes into impact. See how he's curling this right wrist? Kennedy's curling a right wrist. And that allows her to hit the ball in the ground. So now the hands are ahead of the ball. Here are the hands. Here's the golf ball at impact. Here are her hands. Here's the golf ball at impact. And she's continuing to curl this right wrist. There you go. Now this golfer does it, 100 times a day, and he does it for a living. But Kennedy's on the on the right track. You can see he keeps curling this right wrist. That right wrist keeps curling, and the knuckles get underneath. So she's off to a great start. So let's take a look here.
Yes, Kennedy. Through the golf ball. That's it. Yes, Kennedy. That was the best one so far.
Great job. Kennedy's on a great path.